So till now we have seen list and dictionary. Okay. The same goes for tuples and sets. Okay. There are slightly some little difference between all these things. Okay. All these 3 and 4. So just find out the differences. Now let's move on to the strings. Okay. So now we are moving on to the strings. What is a string? A string is a collection of characters.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So how will we define a string? How will we declare a string?
In double quotes.
Double quotes. Okay, very good. So here I mean name equal to place equal to Taj Mahal. Okay. So now what we are going to do is we are going to work on this string. How we are going to separate the string, how we are going to access each letter in the strings. Okay, these are all what we are going to do here. Okay, so we can even find the length of the string. Okay, first find the length of the string. For that we will be using the function length, len function. Okay. Okay. So as for finding the length of the list and all also we will be using the same len function. Okay, now run this to produce 8. Okay, now to access each element of the string, how did we access the elements in the list?
Using index.
Using index. Okay, so likewise in string also we will be using the index only. Okay, so whichever language you are using, okay, whichever data structure you are using, if you're going to store some multiple values there, always remember your index start with 0. Okay, so the index starts with a 0. Now let's do this. Print place square bracket 4. It produces A. Why? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. At the 4th place, the A is placed in Taj Mahal. Okay, likewise, you can use. Now, if I want to start from 1, okay, at the index 1 and end it 7. Now run this. So index 1, A. Okay, in the 7th place, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6th place, we are having the A. So here you are putting 7, right? So whenever you are using this kind of accessibility, what will happen is it will ignore the 7th one. It will stop at the, if you are providing n, it will stop at n minus 1. Always remember that. Okay. Now you are having strip, split, replace, start with, end with, index, upper, lower. You are having many functions here in your string. Okay. So let me show you some basic functions. Other functions you have to go and search. Okay. So if I want to convert the Taj Mahal into a uppercase, I can use the function upper. Okay. I can use the function upper. Now let's run this. So it converts all the letters into upper. Likewise, you can use the lower. Likewise, you can use the capitalize. And if you want to find any element in your string, you can use the function find. If I want to find J, now run this. Okay. Okay, so here it shows error. Why it is showing error is that J is a string, but I haven't give the quotation here. Okay, now it gives the index of that letter. It gives the index of the letter. But we are having A, multiple A's, right? But if I give A, what will happen? It only gives the first one. Okay. Now I want to count how many A's are in my string. You can use the function count. Okay. Run this. It produces 3. Okay. Are you able to understand this? Now let's change the string into the Taj Mahal is beautiful. Okay. So now what I want is I want to strip this. What will happen is when we use the strip function is so both if I produce, I have space here and if I have space here, when I use the strip function, it will remove all the white space characters. Okay, from both the ends. Okay. Print place. Now run this. So you can see here, I have given spaces here, right? So whenever I'm not using strip, it also print the space. Okay, but when you are using the strip, what will happen is it will remove the spaces at the both the ends of the character. Okay, so if you want to strip at some character, for example, if I want to strip at A, now run this. So what will happen is if you are having A at the starting or ending, it will strip it. Okay, so let's put L. It is not working. Okay, let me check it and tell you tomorrow class. Okay, so likewise you can use the strip function. I will explain the strip quotation things and all in the tomorrow's class. Okay, then you can use the split function. Okay, run this, so it will split the each word into a list. Are you able to understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So do you have any doubts?
Ma'am, once show that 1:7 example, no?
1:7. Okay. So to access the value, to access the each character from the list, you can provide the index value. If I want from 7 to 8, okay, 7th value is L, right? So 7 to just have 7. Sorry. Here inside, I want the elements from 7th index to some 15th index. Now shift enter. So at the 7th one, which one is here? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So it will start at here and it will end at here. Okay, so it will access the values at the index. Starting value and ending value we will be providing and it will access the values here. Okay. So here it will include the space also. Here we are having space, right? This space will be counted as 0. Okay. And Taj Mahal 1. Sorry, T1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At 7th place we are having A. It will start at A. Okay. And then it will include the spaces also when it is counting the index. Okay. Are you able to understand this?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So you can even find the index value of the elements by providing the index function and inserting the values in the parentheses. Okay, these are all we will be working in the string. Other than this, we are having replace function. If I want to replace the verb is with was, we can even use that. Okay, simply use the replace. Okay, then which word I'm going to replace is comma was. Now run this, it will replace the word. Okay, so this is how you have to work with the strings. Any doubts?
Yeah, Bhuvneshwari madam, can you just try the I've said on the chat, I have sent one for strip setup. Can you just copy and paste it and see?
Okay.
That's for the strip.
Strip. Control B. Let me run this. Actually, it's not working.
That's not coming, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'll try to do it later and explain.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, yeah. I was also thinking there might be. It's just the.
Yeah, I think I have figured it out. Actually, we have ended the thing with the space, so
Yeah,
it will
if
start
it
stripping that.
it will work,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, now when we run this, it will strip that. Okay, I find
Okay.
out that. I totally
Okay.
forgot about the space. I have entered this.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So now we have all done the basic things. Now move on to the Python functions. Okay. So Python functions. Okay. So why do we need a function is that, so here you can see. So for student mark calculation and all. Okay. So we have used the for loop here. Okay. So each and every time you cannot use the same code. Okay. Now here it is working for some. Okay, let me show you the example here. Okay. So function we'll be using the syntax def function name. So inside the bracket you can pass some parameters if you want. Okay. The purpose of the function is that to avoid the code repetition. Okay. So if I want to add two numbers, I'm getting the input from the user. Each and every time I cannot do add. Number 1 equal to, for example, if A equal to 10, B equal to 20, C equal to A plus B. Okay. Here we are having the addition, print C. And again, I'm getting more numbers here. Again, I want to add another 2 numbers. Again, I want to add some another 4 numbers. Likewise, I'm having the multiple numbers. I want to add it. Okay. So each and every time I cannot create a new variable and add it and store it there. Instead, what I can do is I can use the function here. Okay. What your function will do is it will avoid the code repetition. Okay. Here I am having A, B. So I'm getting D is equal to 67. E equal to 56. So what I'm going to do is again I want to add that. Okay. F equal to D plus E. I don't want to repeat the addition again and again. Okay. So I don't want to repeat the code, the same code again and again. So I want to use the function and store the code inside the function. So whenever I want that code to be executed, I can simply call the function name. So that our function will automatically invoke and it will perform the task whichever needed. Okay, let's see how it works. Okay. Okay, for example, def addition. Okay, so inside the bracket, I'm going to have some two values. It can be anything. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is return a plus b. I want to add two numbers. Okay, inside the addition function, so it will add and return it. So now what I can do is whichever I want to add, I can simply call addition of 3, 4. Addition of 5, 6. Okay, so addition of 5, 8. Okay, addition of 3, 4. Addition of 5, 6. Addition of 5, 8. Okay, so what is happening here is I want to add all these numbers. Okay, so each and every time I don't need to create a new variable and add that and store it. Okay, simply I can call the function here, it will perform this. I don't want to do the same code again and again. A plus B, I don't need to do the same code again and again. So simply I can call the function here, the function will perform all the tasks. Okay, so now print the value. Okay, now print it. So what will happen is, whenever I'm calling this function name, it will go to the function. Okay, if there is any parameters here, it will replace these values with the parameters. Okay, now what will happen is A will be equal to 3, B will be equal to 4. And then what will happen is, it will go inside the function and perform the task. Return A plus B. Even you can do it like this. You can do it like this. C equal to A plus B. Okay, so always have return function. What will it will do is, it will denote that the function ends here. Okay, what will happen is, now it will return the C. The value which added with A and B, 3 plus 4, 7 will be stored in C. The return value will return the value 7 to the function call. Here it is the addition. Okay, so it is the function call. It is the function call. Okay, this one is function definition. This one is function definition. Okay, so whenever you are using the function call, then only your Python will go to this function. Otherwise, it will ignore the function. Okay, it is like, for example, you are moving on to the new house. Okay, you are seeing that some of the bulbs are not working properly. What will you do?
Replace the new one.
You will replace the new. Okay, some fans are not working and all. What will you do?
Get it repaired.
Will repair.
Who will you call there?
Electrician.
Electrician. Okay, so whenever you are calling them, he will come and do the task. Okay, likewise, you are having some task. What you are going to do is, you are going to put the task inside the function. Whenever you are calling the function, then only it will come and do the task. Otherwise, it will not come. Okay, so it will not know. Okay, so whenever you are calling the function, then only your function will work. Otherwise, your Python interpreter will totally ignore the function. Now, when I run this program, 7, 11, 13. Okay, so I don't need to create a new variable for each and every time. I'm going to add the new values. Okay, simply I can write this code, and if I want to add the numbers, I can simply call the function here. You can even use the function without parameters also. Okay. So at that time, what will be happening is you will be using the values inside the function. Okay. Are you able to understand this? Any doubts? I'm not sure whether I have explained this clearly or not. So
Got it.
okay.
So yeah, one thing, right? Let's go and define one more any other variable or any other setup, so that the defining part, how it works, will be clear.
Okay.
So I mean, it need not be only addition or anything. It can be any function that we
Yeah, it can
want
be
to
any
implement.
function.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me use this. Do you know factorial? Do you know factorial?
Factorial, I know.
What is the
Vandana?
factorial of the number 5, Vandana?
Like the fraction.
Factorial. 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, likewise. Do you know that?
Okay. Yeah. N factor. Yeah, I know.
Okay. So now let's create a function to calculate the factorial. Okay, it's a common one. When I was studying, usually my faculties will start whichever programming languages we are going to study. They will start with the factorial program. Okay, it's a common one. So we are going to use the factorial here. Okay. So each and every time, I don't know to create the same code here. Okay. So let's create a factorial program. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to calculate the factorial of some value. Okay. So what is the value of factorial 0? I mean factorial of 0.
1.
1. Okay. Very good. So, okay. Def, I'm going to create a function factorial, and it will going to calculate the factorial of any value. Okay. So let's put n here. Okay. In case if n is equal to 0, if n equal to 0, okay, the factorial will be 1, right? So it should return 1. Okay. Else the factorial is not 0, it can be 1, 2 or 3, likewise it can be anything. Then we can use the else function here. Else, first I declare some variable, that is fact equal to 1. Okay, it will start with 1. Okay, whenever using the factorial, we can start with 1. So I'm declaring fact equal to 1. Then I'm going to use the while loop here. What will happen is it will check from n to 1. Okay, it will check the values from n to 1. So n greater than or equal to 1. Then end it with a colon. Then what will happen is we are going to multiply the n with the factor of 1. Okay. So fact equal to fact star n. What will happen is each and every time The factorial value will be multiplied with n, and then what will happen? It will store it in the fact. Okay. So since we are going to start from n, okay, start from n. So n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3, and so on. We are going to calculate the value. So how will be our increment or decrement value, our step value, whether it will be the negative one or the positive one? I want to start from 5 and then it will go to 4, 3 and 2. Likewise, our n value will be moving here. So how will be our increment or decrement value? It will be increment or decrement?
Decrease.
Decrease, okay.
Decrement.
So n equal to n minus 1. Okay. So after calculating that, what should happen is it should return the fact value. It should return the fact value. Are you able to understand this? This return value should be outside the while loop. Are you able to understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we are going to get the input from the user. Okay. Number equal to int input of. Okay, we are going to get the integer value, and what we are going to do is we are going to print the factorial of number. Okay, we are going to use the factorial of number. Now run this program. I'm going to give 5 here, then press enter. So what will happen is first it will come to this program. I already told you, right? Unless you call the function, your Python will not care about this function. Okay, so your program will start at this place, number. Okay, it will get the number. It will move on to the next line. It will see the function factorial and it will see the number. So what will happen is factorial and number will be 5. Then it is the function call. It will move to the function definition here. Then it will check whether n is equal to 0. Here n is 5. So 5 equal to 0. It doesn't, the condition doesn't satisfy here. So it will move on to the else function. Then it will calculate your factorial. So what you can do is you can take a pen and paper, and each and every time you can try to what is happening in the program. Then you will be able to understand this program. Okay, simply if you see this program, you may not be able to understand the program. What you can do is, so each and every iteration, what is happening here, how it works. Okay, so you can take the pen and pencil, and in the notebook, you can try to traverse the whole program. Then you will be understand what is happening inside the program. Okay, it is the very easiest way to understand what is happening in some small program. So you'll be able to understand the basic concepts of the programming. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So in next class, we can see about the classes and all. Oops concept we will be seeing in the tomorrow's class. Okay. So other than this, we are having list comprehension, dictionary comprehension. Okay, list comprehension, dictionary comprehension, and then generators, decorators. Okay, and map, filter, reduce, lambda. We'll be seeing those things in the tomorrow class, and then we will be moving on to the OOPS concepts. Okay, so till now, any doubts here?
Ma'am, we saw list and dictionary, no? Then what is tuple and sets?
Yeah, as for the tuples, you will be using the bracket, the normal parenthesis you will be using. Okay, as for the sets, you will be using the curly brackets. Okay, so there's some difference between these two. So what I'm trying to say is I have already explained the list, right? So that is how your tuples and sets work. Most probably both, all the three are same. List, tuple, sets are same. There are some little changes are there. Some difference are between these three. Okay, so I want you to try these examples and explain it in the next class.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay,
I will
okay.
be
And sets,
I-
and for sets and dictionaries, we'll use same flower
no
brackets.
dictionary will be using key values pair. Okay, but sets and tuples and list will be using the single elements thing. I have showed you the list, right? So likewise, we'll be using the sets and tuples.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are some differences. So check that and tell me tomorrow.
Okay.
If you have any doubts, I can explain that. So don't worry.
Okay.
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 So that's it for today's
Yeah.
class. Tomorrow we'll be seeing the lambda function. Okay, and map filter reduce, and we'll be seeing the comprehensions of list and dictionaries, and iterator generators also will be used.
Okay.